So it's ironic that they asked me to talk about memory. Um, I'm terrible with names. Since I had COVID, um, there are moments when words escape me. I just start talking and I'll see the word, I can feel the word, I know what it means. I've used it 100 times. I may have said it 1 minute ago. Can't remember it. So I'm probably the wrong person to talk about memory, but because I have a lifetime of um, ADHD and autism, I probably know more about things than you even want to hear about. But I want us to look today at the word memory and at the day. This is a day of our reflection, um, and think about it differently. And so I named this talk Memories Like the Corner of My Mind, and then I had this horrible uh, thing this morning when I arrived here, and I saw that written there, and I totally forgot that that's the name of my sermon, and I thought, I'm not singing this, and thank God I'm not. I'm no Barbara Streisand. Um, but I am going to sing some other things. And when you're Asian, like I'm Indonesian and everything else, uh, people expect you to sing Tiny Bubbles if you're holding a ukulele. I assure you, I do not know how to play Tiny Bubbles. I only play two chords, and sometimes I play one chord songs and two chord songs. But I also know a five chord song. The reason I know the five chord song is because I used to be the assistant director at the Henry Miller Library in Big Sur, California. And all winter long, when the tourists are gone, all the musicians and poets and storytellers come from all over the place, and they all sit around the campfire. And yeah, they have campfires in California. And all of these great musicians come and they play from San Francisco and Los Angeles and all over the hills. And in Big Sur itself still has lots and lots of beats and bohemians and hippies. And they all play, but the guys who can really play and have their guitars, they get to sit around the fire. And the rest of us are in the freezing cold. And by freezing, I mean 40, 50 degrees in winter. I know that makes you feel sorry for me in Big Sur, California in those days. And they pass a bottle of whiskey around too to keep themselves warm. And so I would sit there and I had my ukulele in the back and I only know two chords. And I know that you need to know four or five chords, you know. Um, and I went up to a guy who's the sort of the ringleader of all these, a guy named Ramblin' Jack Elliott. Does anybody know who Ramblin' Jack is? So he's this iconic, just amazing guy from the beat days out in the village and in the North Beach and also in Big Sur. And they call him Rambling Jack because, like me, it takes him a long time to get to the music part. So you're sitting there thinking, he's going to play, but this is more like Tommy Smothers. I'm just going to hold this. Does anybody remember Tommy Smothers? Okay, good. This is a good crowd. So I went up to him one day or one night, and I said, Jack, I need to learn a five chord song so I can sit with you guys. And he goes, and drink whiskey? And I said, well, not necessarily. I just want to stay warm. And he said, you can't do it unless you drink whiskey. So sadly, I learned the five chord song drunk, so I only know it when I drink. And since you guys don't do communion, I can't sing that song. But I do know a two chord song. It's a Hank Williams song. And the thing is that I played it for him because he wanted to know, do I play music? And so he played this back to me. And it's a great song because it only has two chords. Do you know this song? Listen. Anybody? Yeah. It's not going to sound any better when I sing it. Goodbye, Joe. Me gotta go, me oh my oh. Me gotta go pull the pirogue down the bayou. My Yvonne, the sweetest one, oh me oh my oh. Son of a gun, we're gonna have big fun on the bayou. Jambalaya, crawfish pie, and a filet gumbo. 'Cause tonight I'm gonna see Mama Shares Mio. Fill fruit jar, pick guitar, and big guy-o. Son of a gun, we're gonna have some fun on the bayou. So I played... Thank you. It goes downhill from there. So I played that song for him, and he said, you know, that's not the real song. And I said, what? And he goes, I knew Hank Williams, but I also knew Moon Mulligan. Anybody know Moon Mulligan? Okay, so Moon Mulligan is the guy who is actually credited on the record with co-writing this song, and he never got a penny from the record company because he was signed to another. And so in order to make money, he recorded his own version. And in his version, the first part sounds the same, but he plays it a lot slower. After you get to the part where Hank Williams quit, it sounds like this. Okay, this is where the memory thing comes in. He goes, settle down, far from town, get me a pirogue. I'm gonna fish all the fish from the bayou. Swap me man for Yvonne, get what she needs, oh. Son of a gun, we're gonna have big fun on the bayou. And then he said, but wait, there's more. He said, I knew Moon Mulligan, and he told me the real story of how they got this song. They didn't write this song. They were on a bus traveling around the country doing concerts for this snake oil salesman. And look it up once because it's fascinating. It's called the Hatticall bus, right? And so the Happy Day Company Linus bus. And all these musicians got paid to go all around Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, and play concerts. And then they would go out and find places to play and drink all night, right? So they were in Texas, and they were in a Mexican bar, and they heard this song. And they heard this song being played by a Mexican group that were all singing in French because they were French, Cajun, Mexican Texans. It's a thing. It really is. There were lots of groups that were playing this music. And so if you look up the definition of Cajun music, they'll very often say, Jambalaya is a Cajun song. Why? Because it has the word jambalaya in it. But there is no Cajun music that sounds like this. This is a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. This is a valse waltz. This is a fake waltz because it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's your music lesson for today? But what that means is that the music is French and Spanish, right? And so we know that Hank and Moon did not write this. They were Cajun and Creole singers from the Mississippi, Louisiana area. This is a song that's called Gran Tejas. Gran Tejas is the story of a Cajun woman who comes to Texas and wreaks havoc. And Jambalaya is the song, the prequel of a guy who meets this girl and wants this girl. And this is the last verse of the song that you don't hear. And it goes like this. Maquiton, parlez-vous, mio maio. Portenale on the bayou. My Yvonne, the sweetest one, oh me, oh my, oh. Portenale, portenale, portenale. She went away, she went away, she went away. It's not a happy song. It's actually a sad song. And you see, this is the part about memory. We remember things because of the way we're told, because of the way it's been changed or edited or switched around, or the lyrics totally changed. Did you know that the publishers let Hank Williams sing the song, but they did not want him to use the word gallo, because gallo means devil, right? So he says, and be gallo. So in Cajun and in Creole, when you say I'm going to be gallo, you're being devilish. And so they said, well, we want you to say be gayo. So now that means something totally different than what it did then. So now when I sing this song, like at Wheatland or something like that, and I sing Ambigayo, all the kids giggle. And so there's other things in there. Fontenot, Thibodeau, they're kissing cousins. And they didn't let them say kissing cousins because, that was incest. And so the publishers had the say of who writes what, who gets to sing what, how, and they would change the lyrics of things. So later on, I'm going to sing Precious Memories, right? My grandmother's favorite, I was raised Pentecostal, my grandmother's favorite hymn, and even though I'm a pagan now, I'm an African traditional priest in the Yoruba tradition, we love hymns, and so if you listen to the words of Precious Memories, it's about his mom and dad. But the guy who wrote the song actually wrote the song about his son and about the loss of his son. And so when he brought it to the publishers, they bought it, and they forced him to change the words in order for him to sing it and publish it. So now it's a song about his mother and his father. But the actual song about the loss of his son is lost forever. Nobody knows what the actual words are to those songs. So we just sang the New Age. I keep pointing up like the words are up there. In my mind they are, but it's just Hank looking over us. The actual words to the Battle Hymn of the Republic are different than what we sang today, right? So we turn around and we want the words to mean something different. So we still have the feel of it, but it means something different. Why? Well, if you look at the words to the Battle Hymn of the Republic, Julia Ward Howe, does anybody know her? She's a famous abolitionist. She was in an abolitionist Union camp, and she heard all the soldiers singing "Glory, Glory, Hallelujah," and then they were singing, "John Brown's body is a moldering in the ground." And John Brown was a famous abolitionist who was considered the terrorist of Harper's Ferry and was really infamous for killing lots of people, right? So they changed the lyrics. And so a preacher there said, Julie, will you change the lyrics for us? And she changed it. And then we proudly sang the Battle Hymn of the Republic for years and years and years and years. But if you think about it, she wrote this song about one half of the country saying that God is on our side and wants us to kill the other side. Which brings me to Memorial Day. Charles Fillmore would say, because he was part of the intellectual movement of the 1890s that brought in Yogananda and all of these other thinkings, as well as the newborn ideas that were coming out of what would eventually become, psychoanalysis and psychology, but at the time was simply the science of the mind. And they were thinking that for thousands of years they have preached that our mind was this thing, these four corners. And all of these other cultures said, no, the mind does not have four corners. It is limitless. And the things we know are not necessarily the truth. They're just the best metaphor our brain has to understand things in the moment. And Charles Fillmore wrote, and he sermonized on this idea, and it was very popular at the time amongst this sort of elite group of new thinkers that he was a big part of, that there was a subconscious, and the subconscious is where memory comes from. But the subconscious can be polluted. It can be changed. The lyrics can be changed. The meanings can be changed. People's agendas can be added onto. My own confirmation bias can be added onto memories. And my consciousness, my in the present moment, who I am today, digs down into my subconscious and tries to remember the best that I can. And so we have things like yesterday, and we have songs about memories, and we have songs about, the corners of my mind, and, all of these things that are, a lot of them are tinged with regret, and a lot of them are tinged with like this idea that I'm remembering something that may not be true. I've totally whitewashed or misty colored these memories. I think that on Memorial Day, I would not ever be one to say that we should not remember those who we lost, who gave their life in the most precious and heroic and astounding sacrifice one could possibly ever make is their own life for their country or for their loved ones. But I think we also have to remember that, and when I was little, I would think about Memorial Day, and I would think about these old men like they were all generals and they were all like these heroes and whatever. And as I grew older and older, I became that age, and I then became older and older and older. And I have my own. I have four sons, and I start thinking about what happens when they go. And I think about, we were talking this morning about people that we knew that went to Vietnam, and many of them did lose their lives. But we have to remember that many of them did not want to go. That we forced young boys to go to war with this idea that God is on our side. I think we have to separate our memories of our loved ones from the things that have been attached to those memories. Because those boys, those women too, or girls at that age, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, which I used to think that was very old. My kids are between 30 and 12, or 33 and 12. And so they're in that age where I cannot think of a more horrible thing than to lose one of my children. And so I don't think it is important for us to rewrite history. I think it is important for us to separate the truth from what is true, and what has been added, and what has been subtracted, and what we believe, and what has been told to us, and all of these things, so that we move from the subconscious into the present, and we do the best we can to put the memories together in ways that serve us, so that we can move to superconsciousness. The superconsciousness is what Charles Fillmore would call the source, the Godhead, the universal, the all, the Akashic record, the place where all things that are and really are, and truth abides, that we are always working our way towards that. And we can only work our way towards that if we sort out the real memories from the memories that we were given, the false memories, and also the memories that no longer serve us. We evolve as a culture. We evolve as a country. We evolve as people. And we all move forward to better memories, to better metaphors. But we don't forget, but we retain that which is precious.
Hey, it's Reverend Mike here. I just wanted to stop for a moment before you get on with your day and thank you so much for spending time with us this morning. It means the world to us, and I just wanted to let you know if there's anything that we can do to make your experience even better, please do not hesitate to reach out by going to our website. I also wanted to offer you the opportunity for us to get together and sit down so I could get to know you a little bit better and answer any questions that you have. I can either do that by either getting together in person, have a cup of coffee, or we can meet online via Zoom. If you're interested, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can reach me at michael@courage2thrive.com. And lastly, if you find these messages are helping you, we would be tremendously grateful if you'd consider donating to the center. The best and the easiest way to do that is simple. Just go to our website. Again, thank you so much. Hope you have a great day. Hope you're doing well. God bless, and we hope to see you soon. Bye-bye now.